Hi guys. Okay, so this is like long overdue, right? Okay, so this is super casual. I have my hair in a ponytail. It's very frizzy in the back because I just blow dried it but didn't do anything else to it. Threw it up in a ponytail and came to you. So I have promised you guys to keep you updated on this pregnancy, and here we are. Almost 14 weeks in, and I'm not updating you at all. Okay, so I think the time that we left, I thought I was so and so weeks. Then I thought I wasn't because they dated me when I had to go to the ER. We'll get to that in a second. And then I found out I was exactly on the money of what I thought I was to begin with. By the time I went to my doctor, they did date me exactly at the date that I thought I was. And so that means today is Monday. On Wednesday, I will be 14 weeks pregnant. So I'm going to do an update at 14 weeks. Okay. So I did have my first ultrasound, okay? So I had my first ultrasound because I had to go to the ER. It was 2 weeks before my doctor's appointment. They could get me in, I think I scheduled it and they could get me in a month out. And that's always how it is in the beginning because they know that you're very newly pregnant and they know they're not going to be able to see anything in those first stages anyway. So they're never in a hurry really to get you scheduled, and it's always super busy. My doctor's office is always busy and they don't have a whole lot of availability, right? So, with all of that being said, I had a doctor's appointment 2 weeks in the future, but I was having some spotting. And you guys, it terrified me to no end. I was absolutely petrified. And I just knew when I saw that, when I went to the bathroom at church, I noticed that I had been spotting a little bit, not a lot, barely any at all, but it was enough to absolutely scare the bejesus out of me. And I told my husband, he was like, we're going to the ER. Like, we're going to get this checked out. We're not going to be worried about it. We're going to go figure out what's going on. I didn't want to go to the ER. I just wanted to wait it out because if you guys have watched my channel for any length of time, you know the ER was an extremely, can I say extremely enough, traumatic experience for me the first time that I lost a baby. When I had the miscarriage at 8 weeks along, it was absolutely awful. And it scared me to think that I was going to have to go through anything like that ever again. So I was very scared and nervous, and I didn't want to go. But my husband convinced me that that's what we were going to do. So I was like, okay, fine. And that's what we did. We were not at the ER for that long. I think it ended up being about, let's see, it was about 3.5, 4 hours. Okay. So, yeah. So it was still a long time, but when you compare it to the time before when I did have a miscarriage and it was 14 hours at the ER before they told me any information, it wasn't that long. So we did drop off the kids to my mom. I think we were there for like 3 hours. Once we dropped off the kids, got them food and all of that, it ended up that we were at the ER for about 3 hours. So it really wasn't that long of a turnaround with ER standards, okay? So we found out it was completely normal. Like, it's a long drawn out story to tell you that it was completely normal. But within that, I did have a first ultrasound. She did have to do a transvaginal ultrasound, which scared me even more because that's what had to happen the first time. And it was because they didn't see a gestational sac or a fetal pole at all. And so they did a transvaginal and still didn't find one. And that's when they told me, well, that's not when they told me. They waited hours and hours and hours and hours and hours and then told me that I didn't have anything in there, that I had already lost the baby. So I was just ready for that news. Like, I was preparing myself for the absolute worst. And the whole time my husband was being so supportive, not like the first time when he was not sober and was not a good person. He was not helpful at all or supportive at all because he was going through his own mess. But this time he was so positive and so supportive, and he was praying with me, and he was telling me that everything was going to be okay, and he knows our baby is okay, and all of these supportive, positive things, which was scaring me even more because I thought, okay, if he's being this positive and this optimistic, if something is wrong and it goes bad, is that going to all turn around and it's going to mess him up, you know? Because obviously that would be a trigger for him and it would be very difficult. And I didn't want it to put a kink in his sobriety journey at all. We cannot afford to go back there. So it didn't. So it ended up that it was just perfectly fine. Everything was normal. Baby was healthy. Heartbeat was super strong. Everything was great and wonderful and all the things. And so, yeah, it was just a fluke. So I'm like, okay. Okay. So fast forward, and we did go to our first appointment. Again, baby was perfect. They measured me the first time at the ER 3 days later than I had thought, so I didn't turn 13 weeks until Saturday instead of Wednesday. But that is not what they said at my doctor. Wednesday is my date to change over to the new week. So this Wednesday, I will be 14 weeks pregnant. Out of that first trimester, I'm feeling so much better. First trimester was an absolute nightmare, which is why I haven't been on here. I have been absent. Oh my goodness, I have been going through it, you guys. Like, the worst morning sickness, but it's not morning. It is when I wake up in the morning all the time, every time, all day, popping up, thinking I feel better. Oh, no, you don't. You feel terrible. I spent a lot of that in bed off and on. I would do for the kids. I would clean a little bit and I would lay down. I couldn't move. I couldn't do anything. I couldn't craft. I couldn't finish things that I had open for clients. I was having struggles trying to finish some custom journals that I had been ordered for me, and I was trying to finish that, but oh my goodness, I can't even see. I see green, I think green, I look green, I am green, like just horrible, 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 horrible. I'm not somebody that throws up, so I can't get sick. I just feel absolutely miserable, and I feel, oh Lord, if I could just get sick, I would feel better. No, there's no getting sick. You just feel awful. At 14 weeks, I can say that I do still get waves of nausea, but it is not nearly as bad as it was before, okay? So, first trimester, I really did think I was having twins. I was like, Lord, if this is not twins or a girl, I'm going to be so floored. Like, I'm going to be so surprised, right? Because this is different than any pregnancy I've ever experienced. I have had 4 beautiful boys carried all the way to term, and I've never felt like this. Like, this is insane. Felt miserable. I was super depressed. I was falling into some not severe depression, but pretty bluesy. It was getting rough. There was some gray clouds over my head everywhere I went, for sure, because I just didn't feel like myself, and I didn't feel like I could do anything. I could do nothing. I felt terrible all the time. I couldn't keep my house clean like I wanted to. I couldn't work on things and be creative like I wanted to. I couldn't do videos like I wanted to. I had no outlet. I just felt terrible all the time. So it was rough, and I was struggling. So I feel much better now. I'm starting to get back into the swing of things. I'm starting to rearrange my office and get it really organized as best as I know how. I have a long way to go. It's going to take me a long time to organize everything that I have, but I am working on it. I am getting it kind of, I'd say about 30% there, okay? But I will say my energy is kind of burnt. I mean, I'm hoping that since I've turned the corner on this second trimester, my energy levels will start to boost up a little bit, but I am very, very tired. I do not sleep well at night. I am peeing all the time, which, by the way, is not twins. It is a single pregnancy, so we are sure of that with both of the ultrasounds that I have gotten. They both said it is for sure a single pregnancy, so there is that. It is not early enough for us to tell the gender, but I do have a gender test that I scheduled for Joshua's birthday, which is August the 9th. And I have scheduled that special gender ultrasound so that we can know the gender of this little life inside of me. We call it a love nugget. We call it our redemption baby, our restoration of marriage and family baby, our rainbow baby, and it's very, very special to us. And I'm gonna cry if I keep talking about it, but it is a very special pregnancy, a very special life that is already so very loved and appreciated and adored by many, but especially by Joshua and I, and we are very excited, boy or girl, for sure. And I'm trying not to cry because I'm pregnant and I get emotional about my kids. Like, it's just the way it is. I get emotional about my kids on a good day, but when I'm pregnant, it's so much worse. So we are very, very blessed and very happy and excited for sure. So what else do I need to tell you? I have been craving all the things, but I have been craving sweets this time. I have not craved sweets with any of my pregnancies, barely at all. I usually crave sweets when I'm on my period, but when I'm pregnant, every single pregnancy, I've always craved very rich foods, very tomato based, very spicy, very just very strong in flavor and very rich foods. Even when I've had a little bit of morning sickness, I've still craved those really rich foods, and that is not the case this time. All first trimester, all I wanted to eat is cake and cookies and donuts and chocolate and all of that. I've even been craving ice cream, and I don't even really like ice cream. Don't even really like donuts, and I've just been craving all of those sweet things all the time, like sweets all the time. I just want sweets. I could eat sweets no matter what. I could eat sweets and not eat dinner, not eat any food at all. I've been really trying not to do that, of course. I've been trying to eat fruits and things like that, which that's fine with me. Yogurt, things like that, it does curb my sweet tooth. Like that totally works for me, so it's fine. Not only sweets, but also sour candy, pickles, anything sour and acidic, like yum. I want that citric acid that is so terrible for you. I want all of those things, like sour and sweet, not spicy. Spicy made my stomach turn, and I live for spicy food. Spicy food is pretty much all I live off of, unless it's potatoes. And even potatoes, I put jalapenos all over them. Like, I am a spicy girl, okay? All of my kids enjoy spicy food because I've always ate it while I was pregnant or breastfeeding or any of the time. They love spice. Jensen eats jalapenos, like Jensen's too, okay? Spicy food is kind of our go-to. And it's because I eat it all the time while I'm pregnant or breastfeeding. But oh my goodness, no. I'm just now able to eat spicy food again, but even still, it gives me very bad acid reflux already. It gives me makes me nauseous a little bit afterwards. So I regret it afterward. What else have I been having? I want to tell you all the symptoms because I love watching symptom videos and update videos on pregnancy. I watched a bunch of them when I was pregnant with this one just because this one was so different than anything I had experienced. I have a bump. I can show you that. I have a little bit of one, not too much, but it is definitely there. It definitely grows as the day goes on. So right now it's about 2 o'clock in the afternoon, and you can see it is definitely visible. And that is pretty much the bump I have just from waking up in the morning, just right out the gate. So already I have that going on. Then when I eat more, it gets like, and I feel like I'm about to pop because my stomach is not stretched that far yet. My boobs have definitely grown. Listen, girlfriend, every time I breastfeed, my boobs get smaller and smaller and smaller. With Jensen, however, it was a combination of I stopped breastfeeding and it's the first place I lose weight, right? So even while breastfeeding, like when I start losing weight, lose it in my boobs first and foremost. It's the first place for any fat to leave my body. I don't have a lot of fat. Anyway, I'm not a very big girl. And my video cut off. But when I lose weight, I do it quickly, and I do lose weight in my boobs really fast. So my boobs are growing. They hurt all the time. I'm sure they will grow much more before it's time. But I also had a double whammy where I was really stressed out in that period, and after I was trying to wean Jensen and he was self-weaning, I was also going through a horrible, stressful time where I lost, I don't even know, I think I lost like 18 pounds, 16 pounds in the matter of just a few weeks. Like it was horrible. I couldn't keep food down. Yeah, it was terrible because I was so stressed out, and so I never could eat or keep food down. But that is not now. I've gained some weight back since we moved in. Before I got pregnant, I had started gaining weight back, and that's a sign that I was mentally healthy and getting physically healthy again. So happy about that. And so now I went from weighing, so I weighed 108 pounds when me and Joshua officially separated and we moved into different spaces. I had gotten down to 108, which is very, very skinny for me. I'm 5'6" and a half. I was 108 pounds. It was too small. I looked sickly. And then I have now since gained, I don't know how much I weighed right before I was pregnant, but now I weigh 124 pounds. So yay, I have gained some weight and I'm happy. I look much healthier with a little baby bump, and it is so much better now. So that's kind of where we're at. Those are the things that are going on in the updates for 14 weeks. I will pop some pictures up as well and show you the ultrasound pictures. They're just those first ultrasound pictures where it's very alien-ish, but there are some cute pictures where the baby was kicking and the baby was floundering his legs up in the air, or her legs, and the ultrasound tech was able to get those for me, and also where the baby was touching its face and putting its hands on its face. So precious, so precious. So I will pop those up as well. And I hope that you guys enjoyed this video. I'm so glad to be getting videos going for you guys again, and I will be seeing you soon and hopefully consistently. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you in the next one. Bye, guys.